Welcome to the Simply Incredible podcast. This is Daryl, a.k.a. The D, and JPZ Inc.
What's up? Ooh, I got to go first. What a twist.
It's a twist.
He threw
and
me
Andre Sadler.
What's up?
Good job, Andre. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but Andre was a huge hit last week. And so was Troy Champney.
Hey, what's happening, brother?
He did not.
Check it out.
He's like, he's not going to talk to me tonight.
I'm used to it in my life.
It's a twist.
Sometimes I go full conversations, and I'm not included.
Sorry, were you talking?
No.
Okay. And tonight we are talking martial art movies and martial artists.
Oh, it's going to be a good one.
Oh.
Yeah, JP's been waiting for this for quite some time now because he just wants to talk 2.5 hours about one particular individual.
Yep. I'll try to weed it down to about an hour and a half.
All right, well, we'll see. All right, who wants to go first with this? Because there's so many of them.
I tell you, there are so many. Maybe we ought to take and do like a round table. You do one, I do one, he does one. Because there's a lot to go through.
Yeah.
Right.
Why don't you go first, man?
Kung Fu Panda.
That's what you're going to lead
Dude,
with.
I've been thinking about this for all week, and I'm just like, you know what? Poe.
First one?
Poe is awesome.
Poe out the gate.
First one or second one or third one, the whole series, or what?
Well, I haven't seen the third one yet, so I cannot confirm on the third one.
I absolutely agree with you about the first one being an incredible kung fu movie.
I mean, I love that movie. The second one, not anywhere near as much, but dude.
The third one's great.
Spoiler for myself.
Nah, it's great.
Have you seen? I didn't even know it was out yet.
I didn't think it was out yet, and somebody told me a little while ago in training. He's like, "Yeah, it's out already." I'm like, "Really?"
Nice.
Connor
Christian told me that's who it was.
When Connor saw that it was open, he was like, "Hey man, Friday, Kung Fu Panda." I was like, "Absolutely."
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you, Lord. I've trained this child right.
I was kind of letting my hopes down a little bit about that one because, like, the more of the trailer I saw, I was like, this is probably not going to be that good. So I'm excited that you really liked it.
Yeah.
I tell you,
See, if I had liked it, he would have hated it right off the bat.
you have that effect on people.
I do.
What was there on that?
I do.
But you remember the first one I loved so much because it really did capture what I thought the excitement of somebody who is new to Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Because it's mystical and it's magical and it's if you're in and all in, it's fun.
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, he's having dreams about it.
Yes.
The characters. And
the Dragon Scroll.
And one of my favorite parts, and this is before he even starts the martial arts, when they're going to name the new master, and he's going up the steps, and he's out of wind, and they show him he's at the 5th step out of 1,000 steps.
I tell you what, I died.
I laughed and laughed.
And no better character than Jack Black for that role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, we've talked about that. I mean, it just fits him so well. That voice, it works so well.
And that word, skadoosh,
Skadoosh.
is perfection.
The pinky hold or whatever.
Yeah. No,
I actually identify with Poe a whole lot.
Because you're a master?
Yeah, a rotund skadoosh master.
I've never seen that. I knew he could skadoosh. I didn't know about anything else.
No.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes.
I love that movie, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love him eating the cookies. Don't tell Monkey.
Don't tell Monkey.
Don't tell Monkey.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, and it's got so many great other characters and voiced by great actors. I mean, Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Jackie Chan.
Who
Lucy
we
Liu.
may or may not talk about later. I don't know. We may not have time for Jackie.
Might not, but dude, he's a podcast to himself.
A very, very short podcast.
Whatever.
What, Jackie Chan?
Jackie
Oh,
Chan.
come on, man.
Jackie Chan.
Check it out. Jackie
Jackie
Chan.
Chan.
Jackie Chan is the
Chan.
man.
He's not even the third best person to come out of the Chan family.
Oh,
Dang.
wow. You hard on him, man.
I'm just
I
kidding.
think he's hating because Pizza loves him.
I will say this. Hey,
I do love
Kung Fu
Jackie
Panda
Chan. I'm only
2
joking about that.
was just forgettable to me. I was like, they had like a beginning, a middle, and an end, and that's about all I care
The
about.
best part of that movie, though, I watched it several times, was at the end when he was kind of defeated in the water on that plank, and the guy's like getting ready to shoot him, and like he centers his chi, and he starts grabbing the cannonballs and tossing them back at the crane. I was like, that's amazing.
Oh yeah,
That's a beautiful scene.
That was good. The thing I was underwhelmed about, I think they set the bar so high with the first one that I was like, my gosh, it's hard. It's gonna be hard to top that one.
Yeah.
And it kind of dropped down. Have you guys ever seen the cartoon that they have
I've
like
seen some of
regular
it,
with the kids?
Yeah, my son liked it.
It's all right. It's not as good, of course, as the movies.
Yeah.
Right.
But this third one, if you like the first one, you'll like the third one.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Could be doing that Star Trek pattern, where the first one's good, second one's bad. Third one's really
every other one.
Every
is
other
Star
one.
Trek.
Yeah. See, Warcraft, the last expansion was Mists of Pandaria, and it was a whole island of kung fu pandas. So
I remember seeing, I don't know if it was in a video game store like GameStop or something, but they had like one of those panda warriors, and he had kind of like, the fan hat, whatever. And
right.
And I remember thinking, dude, that looks pretty sick, man. I could rock a rash guard and jiu-jitsu wearing that guy.
That'd be awesome.
Dude, I would be all about that.
No doubt.
So, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Kung Fu Panda, I got to agree with you. Fantastic.
Maybe it shouldn't have led the show, but doggone it, I do love it.
I tell you what, that's a
Anyway,
fun one to
next.
lead with, though. What
No
about
kidding.
you? What's yours?
I kind of hate to go serious mode right now.
I know, right? That's what I'm on. Got me all up.
I know, right? Well, I'm going to do it, I guess. Jackie Chan is my first choice. I think if I could meet any celebrity, it would be Jackie Chan. Hands down.
Out of any
Man,
celebrity.
Any famous
he kicked the
person.
Sandman to the curb all of a sudden.
I did. I respect Jackie Chan so much. He's like my idol. He's like, I love that guy. Because what he went through in his life, do you guys like know how he grew up and stuff?
Yeah.
His family didn't have a lot of money, so when he was 7 years old, they put him in this opera house where they train martial arts, tumbling, acrobatics, acting, and everything. And it's like a really brutal place. Like, they barely feed the kids. If they drop their weapon or whatever, they beat them with the weapon. I mean, it was a tough life. So for him to stay there for 10 years of his life without his parents, to learn all that stuff, and then to come out like unjaded, as nice as he is, he's one of the nicest people in Hollywood. He's just so friendly, donates to charities all the time, and I super respect that guy.
I just hope he doesn't turn out to be like Bill Cosby.
All right.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? He did what?
And he kind of like really got me into the martial arts, because I grew up with Van Damme, Seagal, in like the 80s and the 90s stuff. But when Rumble in the Bronx came along in '95, man, when I got my hands on that VHS, I wore it out, like watching it over and over. I don't know if you guys did this when you were growing up, but like I would like memorize the moves in a movie. I would like practice what I saw.
I think we did that to kung fu movies on, what was it?
Kung Fu Theater?
Kung Fu Theater.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
definitely.
on USA on Saturday afternoons.
So I knew every move he did in that movie, and I loved it. And then First Strike came out not long after that, and I loved that one too. And it was all good after that. Super Cop, Drunken Master, Rush Hour, Shanghai Noon. I mean, he's just got such a repertoire. He had over 100 movies like back around 2000. So
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because I remember Rumble in the Bronx coming out, and as soon as it hit, everybody was like, this could be his American breakthrough.
yeah.
Yep.
Which it was, because he had tried before with Battle Creek Brawl, earlier, and it just didn't go over real well. And then after that, if you went to Blockbuster, because you remember going into Blockbuster,
Yeah.
you'd look at all of the new movies out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's as fun as looking for a box of cereal.
Yeah, it was.
You go down the cereal aisle, man, I don't know something better than that. I mean, that's right up there with donuts. And, dude, I mean, it was awesome. So you're sitting there looking, and then all of a sudden, Jackie Chan comes out with Rumble.
Yeah.
And now it looked like
It's
every
the Jackie
week,
Chan wall.
every week there was like 3 that would show up.
Yeah.
You
I got them all.
Armor of God.
Yeah.
Drunken Master 16.
He just had such this hype, like, oh man, there's this kung fu guy and he does all his own stunts. You have to check him out. And
I love Jackie Chan.
We were so used to the Van Damme and the Seagal, like the slow punch, kick choreography, and here comes kung fu onto the scene with all these fast moves. He's hitting people 7 times in 1 second. I'm like, I gotta learn martial arts. This is it.
Dude,
this is awesome.
It's so funny because, I mean, I'm a lot older than you guys, so I remember seeing Jackie Chan a long time before that in something called the Cannonball Run.
Okay.
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that.
Well, I remember because back then, and this is so racist to say this, but if they were Asian, they knew martial arts.
It's sad, but it's true back then.
Back then, in the 70s, if they were Asian, you're like, they know Kung Fu or Karate.
Right.
In fact, they actually, it was such a big cliche, they actually made a movie with a Asian comedian, They Call Me Bruce.
Yes, I
And
do remember that.
the whole point of that movie was that he was a total bumbling idiot, and he got in the mixed, like a mafia, money drop or something, but he couldn't fight at all. So all he'd do is get everyone afraid. He goes, look at my face. I know karate. and like 15 times throughout the movie. But Jackie Chan, I remember seeing him in Cannonball Run, and seeing him move like that, I don't think I'd ever seen anybody move that fast. I saw him, before I even got into Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I mean, it didn't stick with me that much because I was watching Kung Fu Theater.
Yeah.
But the name Jackie Chan all of a sudden wasn't like ingrained in me. All I remember was like, did you see that guy move?
Yeah.
And it made me wonder because like Burt Reynolds and all these other guys called him Jackie by name. I was like, well, this is an ensemble of famous people, so apparently this guy is famous. I just have come to the party late. And
yeah.
he's the biggest draw ever.
See, I didn't know him until well after Cannonball Run.
Right.
I mean, way after that.
Now, when you watched Kung Fu movies, but you watched them on Saturday afternoon too, though, right?
Yeah.
With a different actor, you know.
I mean, and everyone.
Well, 5 different actors. They just kept rotating
I mean,
parts.
everyone involved this. My master's better than your master.
Yeah, always.
And I loved how
I still love
the
formula.
dubbing on those. It's like their lips move and then the words come.
That's a problem I did have with Jackie Chan's movies, like from Rumble in the Bronx and on. I totally got it for the old Kung Fu Theater.
Yeah.
The dubbing. But then Jackie, in the new century, when he was bringing it into the new thing, would always bring Caucasians in.
Yeah.
Like Rumble in the Bronx,
Yeah.
the bad guy was, a white guy, in a white gang.
Right.
But they still dubbed the words. And that kind of threw me. I was like, what is this? I don't know why I wasn't as forgiving with it. But the best part of a Jackie Chan movie, outside of the stunts, is the bloopers at the end of the movie.
Absolutely,
yes.
Because the biggest thing they kept saying, this guy does his own stunts.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
I mean, you see him like jumping like from a ledge to a helicopter or
Yeah.
something, and when he can like run up a wall. Hey, how does a man run up a wall?
You have to grow up in an opera house.
Yep, there you go.
I found one of those like Time magazines where it's almost like a biography of a person, and it's a pretty nice little thick magazine. And I got the one of him, and it kind of gives his stuff, and it gives like a little breakdown of all of his movies he had done up to that point, and just some of his best stunts. Like he climbed like all the way up this 200-foot flagpole and jumped off of it. He did one where he was going down this little corridor on a bike, and he like hops up and puts one leg on either side of the wall and like hits the dude with a bike.
Oh, I remember. I think that's
awesome.
in Battle Creek Brawl.
Maybe, or Meals on Wheels or one of those.
Oh, yeah, it might have been Meals on Wheels, right?
I've never heard of that movie.
Oh, let me tell you.
Oh, there's so many good ones. Oh, my
And
goodness.
his titles of his movies, I don't know if it's lost in translation or if he is a comedian, like Spiritual Kung Fu. Do you ever remember that one?
I don't remember that one.
Okay, that's one of the, before he broke into kind of the newer mode, that's when he was doing Kung Fu Theater.
Okay.
Like the old stuff. But it still had his flavor. And if you look at Jackie, one of the things he always said he wanted to do is be the opposite of Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
He goes, where Bruce, if he was serious, I'm funny. If he never loses, I always take and accidentally get hit. If he kicks high, I kick low. If he flies through the air, I roll on the ground. So he was always like that. And, he was always a little bit of a comedian. Spiritual Kung Fu, it was so funny because if you watch it, you would have very little patience for it. These guys were mimes. And they were dressed like clowns.
I've seen pictures, I've seen the pictures.
And
with
I
the
remember
face
seeing
thing,
that, I was like, what is this?
the
man?
suspenders,
It was like Mystery Science Theater Kung Fu. It was wild.
Never. Now, wasn't he like in like one of some of the scenes in Enter the Dragon?
Enter the Dragon, he got his neck snapped by Bruce.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear the story? In fact, they have this thing on YouTube. If you want to look it up, it's so cool. It's about my best story. And it's this thing where they have famous people all doing their best story. And his was, I was on, the movie Enter the Dragon, and they're doing the scene, and all of a sudden Bruce hit me. And it hit my head. I was like, oh, ow. And he grabbed me and stopped the filming, and he grabbed me, and he starts, holding me tight. He goes, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Are you okay? And he goes, and I was fine. But Bruce Lee is holding me and loving me. I was like, oh, I'm so hurt. I'm so hurt. He goes, I don't know why I kept playing it up because he was hugging me. I was like, I love you, Bruce.
Just hold me a little bit longer.
Awesome.
That was such a neat story. He goes, and then afterwards, I was okay. He saw me throughout the day, and he points at me like, hey, Jackie, my man. Bruce.
That is awesome.
Oh, that was awesome.
I think I might have done the same thing.
Right.
Dude, it wasn't
I love
right?
Bruce Lee.
No, but Jackie Chan, I have to put him on of all-time greats without a doubt.
Yeah.
Now, my pick would be the guy who probably got me into the martial arts deeper, responsibly than anybody. It would be Bruce Lee. Okay? Which I think everybody would, that really took and started martial arts, if you ask them, I think that is the answer you'll probably hear more than that I've heard more than anybody else. Bruce Lee. I had these friends that lived down the road from me, Jason and Shannon, and in junior high, we had bikes. We'd ride to your friend's house and stuff. Well, when I started hanging out with Jason and Shannon, they were into two things. And it's so funny because it was such an impressionable time. They're two of my favorite things in the whole world to this day. Mm-hmm. One was Van Halen. And they had 5150 had come out with Sammy Hagar, and they had Live Without a Net, so we were watching that thing, and it was, it's so funny too because you didn't have the same kind of cable and all this. We had a videotape, so we watched it until the thing broke. Oh, yeah. But the other thing they had was Enter the Dragon.
Nice.
Now, not only am I seeing somebody who is magical on screen, but Jason and Shannon were like Joe Rogan and Mike Goldberg giving me play-by-play, in the fights as it was going. And they were so like, he's perfection. He's a martial art guy. Look at this. Is that... And, when you get it reinforced like that, I was hooked.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'd go out in the backyard, and we would take and hit the heavy bag, just working on nothing but the sidekick. Because we wanted to do it like sidekick in there. And it was so funny because after that, Shannon saw, okay, hey, I got this crew that were really into this, and he got all of them. And I literally sat and watched those things a billion times. I can quote almost all of his movies. Chinese Connection, The Fist of Fury, Return of the Dragon, and Enter the Dragon. Even Game of Death, which only had him in the end. But I think the thing that got me the most about him was, number one, he had such presence. Such strong presence on the screen. And he played it straight. He wasn't going to apologize, for being in a place that was definitely racially prejudiced against him. He was supposed to be the lead in Kung Fu, and it went to David Carradine. And so
that was his whole concept. He's
that
the
was
one that
his
pitched it and everything.
baby.
That was his.
And they say, the best thing about it was that he didn't get it because he was too big for the small screen. But seeing somebody that looked at the martial arts, the way that he developed himself, everything he did, it wasn't the choreography that made his fights great. It was his execution of the techniques. In other words, Jackie Chan's complicated choreography was incredible. It's so involving and interesting, and you're watching it and you don't know what's coming. Bruce is going to cross hook, right kick you, and it's going to be so fast and hard that you're going to believe it would break you. And the guy was 5'8" and 135 pounds. You're like, wow. So it did. It made me kind of strive to take and look for that kind of perfection, which I think was a big draw for martial arts, period.
And his presence was like strong and commanding, but it came off confident. It didn't come off like one of the tough guys, like I got a chip on my shoulder, kind of the Seagal and Jet Li. That's kind of why I didn't like those two very much, because they always had that chip on their shoulder, like, you better respect me.
They would have swagger where he took and didn't need it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that they said that he had to slow his stuff down because it was too fast for the camera.
Yeah.
Well, like, that's insane.
And in fact, so many people, I remember there was a kick in Enter the Dragon. In the final fight scene, he does like this inner crescent. It's like when you swing your leg outside and bring it in toward the middle and smack him in the face. And the kick is so fast that you almost can't see him move. You just see this blur. And so many people said they heard that they sped up the camera for that. They did. They didn't speed the playback up. They had to speed the shutter speed up to catch the kick. So yeah, it did. They sped up the camera, but not to make his performance better, so that they could catch his performance.
Yeah.
I say my favorite scene of him and Chuck Norris at the Coliseum.
Classic.
I love the fact that you see those two guys.
Classic.
And they're like, we're going to let each other warm up first.
Yeah, the mutual
Get
respect.
ready.
Just,
Epic.
And I love that. And then across the way, there's that cat. I don't know what he had to do with anything, but that was awesome.
It was so funny because I remember on that movie, it almost Bruce said that he did everything on that. He wrote it, he directed it, he starred in it, he choreographed it, he wrote the music score for it, helped with the filming, and there's video of him coaching that cat. Trying to get him and paw at this string, and you can see Bruce is sitting there like, come on, trying to get the cat to act.
So another thing I love about Bruce is the old home movies he had. See him sidekicking that heavy bag, and the thing goes all the way up to the ceiling and comes back.
Or working with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
on that scene where he's got Kareem front kicks him and his foot is on that yellow.
Is that the
Yeah.
best?
And I mean, his foot has got to be like 3 feet long.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I think there's a squatch in here. Hey, have you ever seen that yellow shirt that they have, the Game of Death T-shirt? It's the yellow
No.
shirt. It's got black stripes, like his jumpsuit
Yeah.
did, and a big footprint right there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Hey, that's awesome.
but yeah, Bruce Lee. I think the best thing about his movies was they literally, for some reason, gave me kind of like a standard of excellence
Yeah.
that he was trying to demonstrate. He goes, look, it's possible to be so much more than you ever thought you could be, but you have to hold yourself to a higher standard than anybody else could.
That's what I was going to say. Besides the martial arts, I loved his philosophy.
Philosophy.
Yeah. And he would always just be a teacher in all his movies. He would always throw these little nuggets of wisdom out.
Dude, he was the first person to take and really push what we now know as MMA.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was getting ready to say.
Dude, go with it.
I mean, you saw in the beginning of, it wasn't Enter the Dragon, where he was doing jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, oh yeah, Enter the Dragon.
Yeah, and you see he got those kind of MMA gloves on with his
Yeah.
fingers showing
Yeah.
up, and he showing an arm bar in there too.
Dude, that
I
was,
was like,
crazy.
who would have thought back then that they were actually mixing?
Yeah.
And if
And
you
I
thought
love
about
that.
it, that's what I mean. That was as close. They had a big wide open space. They didn't have a cage,
Yeah.
but they had this big wide open space, and they said, "Look, nothing but shorts and gloves." They didn't have a gi,
Yeah.
and they had they used to call them Kempo gloves,
Yeah.
like when they sold them in the magazines. But they had these, and then you saw, grappling, clinching, striking, dude.
Yep.
Good
Incredible.
stuff.
Hey,
And you saw him using like the different tools as he went up the layers,
Dude.
up the levels in the movie. It's amazing.
Oh, and Game of Death.
Yeah.
Yeah, every level was a little bit higher.
Yeah, and he said that was one of his big goals as a show. You can do different things. You don't have to be the just like single task. You got multitask.
Yeah.
Did you like
different
that
things.
movie Dragon? His life story, the way they
Yeah,
did
Dragon
that?
the Bruce Lee story.
Yeah.
I
That
love
came
that.
out really good, really good. I'll tell you. Here's a little funny.
Was it? I was gonna say Jason Lee. I can't remember.
Jason Scott Lee?
Jason Scott Lee. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I know that we've talked about this before. The guy is. I saw a picture of him again. He's one of the hoverboard punks in Back to the Future too.
Ah.
Yeah, but he's not credited, I don't think. But check this. This is a little funny story. I took in as a kid. You didn't have the internet, so if you were going to learn martial arts, with supplemental material, you had to have magazines. You're not going to get. I mean, for a kid like me, I wasn't going to get like any film on anything outside of like maybe a movie, and books.
Yeah.
So I understand Bruce's philosophy is actually, legit martial arts. Even though he's a movie star, he's a legit, cutting edge martial art thinker. In fact, probably, the cutting edge. So I go in and I found out about the name of his book, and I was pronouncing it wrong. When I walked up to the guy, I said, "Hey, I'm looking for a book." He goes, "Yeah, what can I do for you?" I was like, "I'm looking for Teo of Jeet Kune Do."
Uh-huh.
And the guy looks at me, and I don't realize at the time, but he looks at me with this condescending look, and he goes, "Well, I have the Tao of Jeet Kune Do." And I was like, sorry, different book. And that piece of crap let me walk out of there without it. I was like, man. No, we do not have the Teo of Jeet Kune Do. I have the Tao.
That's hilarious.
I was like, okay, thanks a lot. Gotta go. I guess I'll order it.
That's
Dork.
awesome. That is awesome story.
Dude. So, yeah, Bruce was definitely my favorite movie star, and his movies were awesome. What about you? Round 2. You got
Well,
another
I
one?
mean, next I have to go to Brandon.
Okay.
Got to go to Brandon Lee.
I was hoping you would.
I mean, there's the connection right there. It was either Brandon or Chuck.
Yeah, there you go.
But I mean, Brandon, another guy who sadly his career ended way too early.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, you just saw like evolution through his movies. How he went from just kind of being in was it Showdown in Little Tokyo?
Yep.
And then to Rapid Fire to me is absolutely phenomenal.
I love it.
And then on to The Crow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh my goodness.
He even did one called Laser Mission, which was so bad it
That
can't
I've
be
never-
mentioned.
never heard of that.
That was with Ernest Borgnine. If that tells you anything.
Yeah. And I mean, the man had, like you're talking about with his dad, charisma just oozing out of him.
Yeah, dude.
Remember when he drove up in that motorcycle in Rapid Fire?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, James Dean, eat your heart out. This kid's got whatever it is, he's got it.
I mean, he to me, I mean, he was one of those guys that really, I mean, Bruce and Brandon, those two guys really got me in that martial art mindset.
Yeah.
Ah, dude.
I mean, that kick in Rapid Fire through the spindles
that's
on the stairs,
perfect.
and he takes him down.
I love
and
that.
then he does that slide kick and hits
the
the table. It's like, oh my goodness, this guy is phenomenal.
I think I was with my buddy Shannon when we were in the theater and that preview came on.
Mm-hmm.
And Showdown in Little Tokyo, I think it was right to DV or right to video. I don't think it came out on big screen. I might be wrong, but Rapid Fire, I remember
With Dolph Lundgren.
we're watching a movie, right? And we see Rapid Fire come up on the screen and lose it.
Oh man.
It ruins the movie we're about to watch because now we don't care about this piece of junk we're about to see. It's like, when does that come out? Oh, dude.
And then on the Crow, he got the misfire and he got shot.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness.
That's still probably my second favorite movie of all time.
Mhm.
The Crow?
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that movie.
Have you ever seen the version with the skeleton cowboy?
No.
I've never seen that. I've seen like just a little clip of it,
Yep.
but I've never actually seen. Well, was actually in the movie at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I think it's either on the director's cut DVD or the Blu-ray. But if you do, you get to see the animatronic skeleton cowboy that gives him the rules.
Yeah, I've seen
And
pictures
it,
of it.
and it changes the story up, so the story is altered. But I think they just have him in scenes. I don't think they have it in the cut.
All right.
But it's wild to see that. I was like, that would have been so much better.
Oh yeah, you think so?
Oh, I know so. Yeah, because the whole idea, in my opinion,
Yeah.
because the whole idea was that hey, get the crow. If we kill the crow, it takes his powers. That was made on the spot. That's not how it was supposed to go. The whole idea was once his mission was over, he was supposed to return. And it was over, and when it was over, he still wanted to take out some other, protect somebody else, and he started being vulnerable.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, and that's neat, right?
I kind of liked how he was the only supernatural part of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
thought that kinda
Instead of
works.
like a magic world.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like that.
Mother is the name of God on the lips of children.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, that's some good lines. in
Yes,
there.
it is.
You can't rain all the time.
Love that.
Oh, every time I hear that, it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Every time it rains, just about, I'll put it on Facebook just because it belongs.
I remember very few movies do I ever go out and would buy the soundtrack for, but I bought it for The Crow.
Yeah, my buddy had that.
Dude. And I don't know about you guys, but when he died, I still remember. That's one of those moments in my life. I remember where I was and who told me.
Oh, really?
And to this day, I remember being so mad because the guy who told me is a friend of mine. He goes, "Hey, man, did you hear Brandon Lee got killed?" Like that.
Wow.
And I was just like, lead balloon, dude.
Oh, man.
I was brokenhearted.
Yikes.
See, one of the things I'd heard, I don't know if you guys have heard this or not, but I heard he wanted to keep making movies, obviously.
Sure.
But take it away from martial arts and go into strong acting.
Yeah.
And if you watch The Crow and Rapid Fire, you see he's got really good, had really good, great acting skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good, great. There you go.
He just seemed like one of those guys with such charisma. Like, he didn't take acting seriously almost. It was just like he was having a fun time on there. He was being a real person.
I mean,
Like, that's
watching
all.
his movies, it's kind of like for me watching Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It's like I need to see it.
Right.
It may
yeah.
not be great, but I need to see what he's putting out.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I think I watched both Rapid Fire and The Crow. Those are a couple other movies that I watched until the tape nearly broke.
Right.
But how about his movements in that fight scene down there with Al Leong on the fence post? Me and Will were just talking about that before we came up. I remember seeing that at the very end of Rapid Fire when he did that, and I was just like, oh my gosh, Bruce Lee's kid is bringing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, you're everything that we had all hoped for. I don't know. Everybody always talks, like my mom always talked about JFK Jr. When they saw this kid as he grew up, they were rooting for him.
Right.
Yeah.
It's because you feel so bad about the cards he was dealt. Same with Brandon.
Yeah.
Did you ever see him in the Kung Fu TV show with David Carradine?
I remember hearing about him being in that, and I never saw it.
It was not good at all. But it was because, the David Carradine Kung Fu style, it was really slow and almost awkward. Because, I hate to say it, but he was not a real martial artist, so there was some awkwardness in his movements. Now, back then, you didn't catch it. But now you watch it, and it almost looked like Brandon was kind of like trying to act like that style. It's funny. It's worth seeing.
Now,
though.
is it better than Bruce as Kato?
No, dude. Bruce's Kane-Do is money.
That was awesome. I mean, they had this series of that. I know going back to Bruce for a second, but they had that series on TV one weekend. I was like, dude, I'm not moving for the whole weekend.
The Green Hornet?
Yeah. And I was
Awesome.
like, I can't move. I got to keep watching this.
I'll tell you, there's a couple other things that Bruce did that I remember reading about, but before the internet, I never get a chance to see it.
Yeah.
I think he was on an episode of Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. He also did this thing, I think it was called Long Street with James Francisco. Mm-hmm. And, dude, that was great because the character in the thing was blind, like a blind attorney. Matt Murdock-ish, and
so it was like Daredevil?
Dude, Daredevil. Yeah, Bruce Lee taught Daredevil, dude.
Nice.
And his name was James, not Matt.
That seems right to me.
But he actually started putting in a lot of his philosophy, like he was teaching lessons. Mm-hmm. And they were legit martial art lessons, not just scripted garbage.
Yeah, it's like you're teaching the audience right now.
He says, "You move toward me, wham!" And he goes, "My longest weapon to your nearest target, your knee. You step again, wham!" And I mean, he's like teaching a lesson, man. It was fantastic.
That is awesome.
Have you ever heard the Lost interview with Bruce Lee?
No.
Lost interview was Pierre. I think it's Pierre Burton. Mm-hmm. If you haven't seen that and you're a Bruce Lee fan, you've got to. It's just him doing this interview with a Canadian journalist. It's in black and white. Fantastic.
That's not the one we're talking about water, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
then
water.
I have seen that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be like water,
Be
my
like water.
friend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great.
Water cut through walk. Water put in a cup, it becomes the
It
cup.
becomes the cup. And that's a long, I think it's like about a 30 or 40-minute interview.
Nice.
It's really in-depth.
I'm sure that's on YouTube somewhere.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Guarantee it. I remember when it came out in the magazines and they were selling that thing. I was like, you just got my $30. Yep.
JP, what you got next?
I'm gonna go with the other big influence, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme,
From Muscles from Brussels.
He just got battered just a little while ago because he's no Jackie Chan. But
Well,
anyway.
he was probably my first experience with martial arts because I was a little too young for Bruce. I was a little after Bruce. So growing up in the 80s, it was kickboxer, blood sport, and I had this tradition with my parents. Every Friday, they would bring home a VHS and a Happy Meal from McDonald's.
Now that's a great set of parents.
Yep.
Yeah. So
the old days when you had to go.
I'm giving you a high five on that one. That
go,
sounds like a
had
good
to go
childhood.
to the video store and get a movie.
Yeah,
those days.
And it's like 80s. So 80s, my generation, we grew up with violence. It was like He-Man and Turtles fighting on TV. It was Van Damme fighting in the movies. I mean, everything was about kicking butt. So kickboxer and blood sport, they were the two first really getting me into martial arts. I would watch them and just be so pumped, I couldn't sleep. I was jumping off the couch doing spin kicks and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome parenting. I love it.
Another one that I really loved that didn't get a lot of hype was The Quest. You guys remember that one?
Oh, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had that martial art tournament at the end where a representative from every country came. So you got Chinese Kung Fu, you got
Capoeira.
Brazilian Capoeira, you got Japanese sumo wrestling and everything. Just the first Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Yeah,
Just coming together. That part I loved, and I loved he got sold into slavery and he got sold to Muay Thai Island to be a prize fighter. So the guys that sold him, they come back and they see him for the first time since he's been training there for a year, 2 years, 3 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And he comes out and he takes that robe off and he's got the Muay Thai headdress on and everything. He's towering over these little Thai guys. This just giant American man. He's shredded. I'm he looks scary.
That's awesome.
I love that movie.
I heard that was his baby too.
Oh yeah.
He wanted the Quest to be his big, because Bloodsport will always be his big thing.
Yeah.
But he wanted the Quest to be his stamp of his legacy.
Yeah.
They're gonna remember this forever. It'll change things. It didn't do that, but good movie though.
Yeah.
So you remember No Surrender, No Retreat?
No Retreat, No Surrender.
Yeah.
Your treat.
Lidica.
Dex Lexic.
Dex Lexic.
He's got such a
Is
wrestler.
he a wrestler?
Yes. I remember that.
Dex Lexic.
Double Team, Lionheart, Universal Soldier, Hard Target, Time Cop.
No, so we better bring some
Dude.
Time Cop in there.
Dude,
doubt.
love time. I love any time travel.
I love that movie.
I liked Hard Target a lot just because he was that Gambit, Southern Cajun, Remilabo kind of guy.
I remember that.
He was not.
Dude, that Hard Target was okay. Remember, that was John Woo, right?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, John Woo, because if you notice, they did John Woo was getting a lot of hype right then as a director, and he's really known for that slow motion,
Yeah,
capture.
long shot, right.
Love Lionheart.
Yeah,
And one that's kind of like a guilty pleasure is Double Team, the one with Dennis Rodman.
Oh, yeah.
It was a terrible movie.
That was
Double Impact.
Yeah, with the twins. But Double Team, I love the part like he is like supposedly killed, and they take him to this island where like all these agents are kept and not allowed to leave, so they can kind of help the government. And his whole like training thing to get off of that island was awesome. Like he's squatting in the tub full of water. He's like doing pull-ups in the doorway, and he times it to where like he sticks his thumbprint on the scanner and like jumps off this cliff right as the lasers go off in the water and gets out of there. I was like, that was just awesome.
As much as I did enjoy a lot of his films, there was something about him I didn't dig. And I can't put my finger on it. Like, I always thought like he was a Johnny-come-lately. And, it's just, I think it's just whatever you see first is better.
Right. Right.
And I always felt like that. But it's funny, too, because I never say anything about it. But everybody that grew up at your age, that's the king. Jamie's that way.
Yeah.
Jamie is Van Damme.
He was kind of the king of the 80s, He was the action star.
And the thing I liked about him, though, the thing that I really did do, I identified with, same message as Bruce Lee. Look at the perfection that you can obtain.
Yeah.
Because you look at him, he was body built, ripped.
And his like
full splits.
Yeah, his sidekick that he could just hold up in the air.
I mean, the jump spins.
The split took on a life of its own.
It really
did.
Dude.
I mean, you saw the commercials a couple years ago.
Yeah, with the trucks.
Yeah, I mean, he was sitting there, he had like some bongos, playing the bongos, doing a split.
Dude, I think that was cool, too.
Hilarious.
It's funny. He's kind of he did a movie just recently, JCVD.
I saw that.
And it was kind of like about an aging. He played himself.
Yeah, I mean, they basically said it was like an autobiography, not an autobiography.
Right. I didn't see it though. Did you see it?
I saw it. It was pretty good. I mean, I heard a lot of people talking about it being great, but I was like, it was good.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard it was just phenomenal.
Yeah, I can only tell you.
Well, I had a buddy of mine send me a picture. Wait, was it you? It might have been you. Who had a friend who met Jean-Claude.
Yeah.
All right, and boy, didn't he look old in that picture?
Yeah.
Let me just say this: if you were blonde, you could have met him too.
Maybe it was just cool. It was like 9 o'clock at night in some random bar in Los Angeles. Just who's in there but Jean-Claude Van Damme?
No kidding. That's another thing too. Being in a bar, I did hear he had struggled with a lot of substance abuse.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was like a food bar, not like a drinking bar.
Don't cover for him. You're an enabler.
Yeah. No, I'm covering for my boy. I got you.
You're selling as it is.
Time Cop I thought was underrated though. I
thought that was a great movie.
Yeah.
It says read this? Yes, Wolverine. Can you read between the lines? On his boot in his face. That's great.
And he gets the person, hands it back to the lady. That was awesome.
Dude, that was great. Now
the mullet in that movie was awesome.
Well, no, the mullet in Hard Target was awesome because it was a mullet that was permed.
Yeah,
the permed mullet, yes.
And I love because he had so many presence attacks in that thing, man. Bum, 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 like superhero pose. Hold it for a few minutes too long. It's like,
yeah, he would always do the one where he flexed his bicep and set the other one underneath. And was like,
he used to do stuff like that, and I think that's where he lost me.
I mean,
he had a couple of whack things. I was like, why would you do that?
How many times do you see him do a split and punch someone and hold it with that face?
And then, I remember him doing that in Bloodsport, and I was like, I remembered it. And then all of a sudden, he was like, "You like that? I do that again. I do that in all my movies, 15 times.
You like that spin kick? Let's play it on repeat.
Dude, let's do it forever." Well, if you're going to talk about Van Damme, I think at the time when he was out, it was he was tied in almost permanently in competition with Steven Seagal.
He came a little bit later, but once he came on the scene, it was
then all of a sudden they're the two.
Yeah.
The thing I dug about Steven Seagal back in the day was I had never seen, and everything that I had seen had been punch kick.
Yeah, right.
And then all of a sudden you see this guy grabbing people, and with a velocity to his movements that look like if he pulled that guy's arm like that, he's taking it home.
Yeah.
Of course, the martial art is Aikido, and it's about blending. When somebody comes towards you, you're grabbing their energy and increasing it and then changing the direction. So I'm looking at this thing, and I see him do a couple of moves, and my jaw hits the floor.
Yeah.
And the first outing, I mean, he did the vehicle that they chose for him, the first one, Above the Law, was perfect. because they played it like a cop movie, not a martial art
They
movie.
did, but the one thing I don't like about that one is he just had such a chip on his shoulder. Like he was just smacking people around, and almost being a bully.
Well, yeah, in fact, I
He
think
was wing chunging the crap out of some people. I always love that like reverse chop thing, and they
Yeah.
go flying through the air.
dude, that move, I know the exact move you're talking about. It was a clothesline.
Yeah.
The guy comes
Like
at
the
him
ridge
and
hand on him.
kicks.
Unbendable arm.
And he bumps the foot out of the way, and as that guy still got his energy coming in, takes his head off.
yeah, yeah.
I remember seeing that going, oh, I got to get good at that.
That's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. I took Aikido for a little while, and it's fun. I love doing arm locks.
Now, was your experience in it, was it really slow? Because, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
did
very slow art.
I did Neon Goshen Aikido, which is they put a little bit of strikes and some real world applications. So it's very slow at first. You do the traditional technique. You have to get the traditional technique before they show you any applications. But then they start throwing in the real world applications.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've heard, I've never studied Aikido, and I've heard big discrepancies between. A lot of it can depend on your teacher.
Yeah.
If your teacher is super traditional, in keeping with the theories, everything will be so soft it might be hard to translate it to a real world application unless you had years and years of training. And
because I mean, you think about Aikido, it was kind of comes from small circle jiu-jitsu about when you lose your sword, when the samurais would lose their sword and they had to disarm the other guy coming at them with the sword. So, I mean, how do you translate that in 2016? But it's just fun to do. I love it.
And I think, I try not to get too martial art philosophical here, but
I'll throw it on me. I love it.
all right. Well,
Drop the knowledge upon the congregation.
all right, here's my thoughts,
Free lessons.
right?
Come on.
If these guys are coming in and, they're using a traditional technique, that's fantastic. But if it stays in the past, it loses the effectiveness that's necessary for them to explore in the future.
Yes.
So these theories can work great, just like, you look at, Elio Gracie with jiu-jitsu. He took the traditional, jiu-jitsu and said, hey, look, that's great, but I have to make changes in leverage because of who I am to make this really work. I'm a small, sickly guy, I've got to, and change the world. You can't discount Aikido because you've seen the traditional application of it.
Yeah.
I'd love to see somebody take some of that stuff and absorb what is useful and reject what is useless, like Bruce said, and said, all right, how do we take that? And, what we always try to think of is how do you functionalize it? How do you functionalize it?
Yeah.
And the art can be really good, and it can be, to be honest, completely hokey nonsense.
Yeah. I started doing that with the techniques I knew because Neon Goshen was 50 techniques. That's it. You learn 10 techniques, 5 belts, and then brown belt and black belt, you're kind of mastering what you know. But those first 5, you learn the 50 base techniques, and it was like kind of split them up. Like these I could probably translate, actually turn into something based off the mixed martial arts I know. These, like, there was one like they run in and you grab it and you whip it and just keep their momentum. And I was like, I'm tossing that one out. I'll never pull that out. So, you got to kind of pick and choose what works for you.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like that. How long did you do it?
I just got the yellow belt.
Oh, okay. That's cool, though.
Yeah.
So that's always been one of my things is because, I'm smaller than most people. Some things is just not going to work for me.
Yeah.
So, I think each person adapts arts to themselves.
Yeah. You have to.
You have to, definitely. No show. What was your big Seagal movie?
Oh, man. Definitely I loved Above the Law. But I think my favorite outside of that was Under Siege.
Under Siege is like a level above all the others for me. What about
You
you,
could
D?
tell because it was almost like, all right, this is a real Hollywood movie, not like a guy in Hollywood and he got you something.
Right.
But Under Siege was incredible. Out of
like-
all of his other ones, Marked for Death.
Die Hard on a Boat.
Dude, I love it. Here's the thing that's funny about that.
It's funny. I know all these movies. I cannot think of the titles for all of them.
Oh, man.
With
There was one on a train that I liked.
Under Siege 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Connor, I showed him Die Hard, and he absolutely loved it. He goes, "That was incredible," and I was hoping that it would hold up because I
me some
know.
Die Hard.
Oh, no kidding.
Dude,
Yes.
dude, you gotta love that one, right? And then I said, "Man, I'm on a roll. I got to get him into all these '80s things now while the iron's hot. I got to strike." So I bring in Under Siege, and I'm bringing in a pretty big gun.
Yeah.
And he looks at it, and afterwards, I said, "What'd you think, man?" I'm all excited, and he goes, Yeah, it ain't no Die Hard.
No.
That's awesome.
I was just like, wah, wah.
Oh man, Tommy Lee Jones. Oh come on.
Dude, I love him
Yeah.
with Jimi Hendrix playing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Dude, that was so good.
And another big one for me, it didn't get a lot of press. It came like probably 10, 15 years later, was Fire Down Below.
Oh yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
I love that one. You know it too, Dan?
Yeah, mhm.
Yeah, it goes down to like Tennessee or somewhere like that, North Carolina, something like that.
Was that okay? Yeah, yeah.
Somewhere.
What was
in
the one where he was up in the snow with the Eskimos and stuff?
Oh no, that was something different. I think I'm not sure what that one was.
All right.
But yeah, Fire Down Below. He goes down. He's like this government agent, and these guys are polluting the water, and they're profiting off the land and stuff. And
Right, I
he's
remember
got
that.
this like real gentleman about him. Like he's helping people in the town, and he throws this one move. I love this move. Like the guy tries to push him on the chest and like grabs the thumb, turns it upside down into a Sankyo, and like he starts choking him with one hand while I got an arm lock on the other hand. He's like, apologize. He's like, I'm sorry. He's like, now apologize to the lady. He's like, I'm sorry.
Dude, no. The thing about Seagal, his movies, as good as they were, it is kind of talked about in Hollywood, and now because he has just come across, he's becoming a caricature of himself and becoming a real point of discussion because he's telling these things like, yeah, I taught Anderson Silva that front kick,
Right, yeah.
in the UFC.
Changed
And
the world.
It's like, you know what? I'm not saying that you didn't share your ideas on the front kick, but I'm pretty sure Anderson Silva knew a front kick before you
Yeah,
came into his
yeah.
locker room.
Have you ever watched any of that TV show where he was a police deputy
Yes.
or something like that?
I watched about one scene out of it, and I was like, I'm done with that.
He believes in himself so much.
Yeah.
Like he truly believes if anybody ever attacks him, he's gonna destroy him.
Now I have heard this.
I just wish he would do a push-up and lay off the sandwiches.
Now, I mean, they're
He
in
looks
his prime. I
ridiculous.
always heard of all the mixed martial artists, he was the most realistic of them all.
Yeah, no. Well, the thing is, he actually was the first Japanese person to open a dojo in Japan.
Yes.
I mean, he had to get permission from people to be able to do such a thing.
He was super skinny and super tall. I
Yeah.
don't know how tall
Fast.
Seagal.
Yeah.
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 How tall
Not
is
so much
Seagal?
now.
Dude, he's 6'4", but I remember Guru Dan in Asano, which was Bruce Lee's protege. I was training with him at a seminar, and we had talked about it because he had just filmed his part in Marked for Death. Out for Justice. Remember Sticks? Remember they go Sticks, and he comes in there with the pool sticks, and they start
Yeah,
fighting.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
Guru
yeah.
Dan.
Ah, okay.
And talked to him a little bit, and he goes, "Let me tell you, he's 6'4". He goes, but that's a big 6'4". He's a
Yes.
huge guy.
Yeah, he is.
And
You
the
know.
ponytail adds to it.
Oh, dude. Now I will say I love watching his fight scenes.
Yeah,
I do.
me too.
Yeah.
Even knowing that
Now,
he's
I would say this in the
douchebag.
last like 5 years, he puts out like 10 movies a year.
Yeah, he's going straight to video.
dude.
Clip.
Yeah,
have you seen
everything.
any of them?
I don't remember the
I
last
saw
time I saw
one
him.
of them where he was like, he started doing like the waving motion and like hit him with the Buddha palm, and I was like, ah.
He can't move the same way
Yeah.
that he used
I
to.
mean, like, him-
Yeah, like one of them, they actually were using like a fight stunt double. Like you could tell.
No.
You could tell when it was when
Wow.
the camera was on his face, he was going like a certain speed, and then when his back was toward it, like the dude was doing like sweeps and spin kicks and stuff. I was like,
Oh, dude, busted.
I am very surprised at that.
yeah.
Well, I've heard a lot of stuff like improprietary or that's the wrong word. It had a lot of improper, things with women. Like his nannies and babysitters and stuff like that, and some really harsh stuff that they were accusing him of.
So is he going down the Cosby Road?
Dude, honestly, it would not surprise me a bit if he hadn't even had situations that he'd already paid out a lot of money for. And the other thing was, if you listen, John Leguizamo, you remember him, the
Yeah.
clown from
Yeah.
Spawn,
Yeah.
had a run-in with him in his movie Executive Decision.
Okay.
And you can look him up, talking about it. And Seagal was bullying him on the set. Like, he came in like, I'm the commander of the team. He was in, method acting.
Yeah.
He's in character, and he was doing it. And he kept going, my word is law, and you'll do what I say, and you will snap too. And Leguizamo, who's a comedian, is like, who is this guy, man? I ain't done. And all of a sudden, he steps to him, like a bully thing. And he goes, what? You going to hit me? And Seagal hit him.
Whoa.
Hit him.
That I did not know.
And he goes like this. He goes, I swear to God, I thought I was going to die. And then afterwards, I'm like, dude, don't ever come near me again. It was crazy. Go look it up on, I think he was on Howard Stern telling the story. It's a great story.
And then Judo Gene LaBelle choked him out.
Yeah, he actually, he helped him. Because sometimes if you're constipated, man,
You need
you
a
might
little
need a
push.
little help. And Judo Gene is the legit man to take you there.
And everyone heard skadoosh.
But you know, skadoosh.
Point to D.
Dude. Now, I will say that the bad thing about that is, if you're going to take and run your mouth and say that you can't be choked out,
Yep.
you better be careful of the company you're in.
No kidding.
Because let me tell you something. The jiu-jitsu guys I train with, if you say it,
Yeah.
dude, that
Yeah.
crew will take you out. Oh, no.
Chip gets too big on your shoulder, you get holly homed.
So,
Yeah.
but speaking that his personal life is not something that I respect, I do like his earlier movies.
Yeah, they were entertaining. No doubt.
So,
T-Roy, you're next.
okay. Take a little turn here into something funny. Because there was a lot of movies that were martial art movies or one-hit wonders, and this was one. One of my favorite martial art movies of all time, hands down, The Last Dragon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ah yes. We've talked about this many times. We need some pop vinyl figures of Show Nuff.
That is,
Bruce Leroy.
Man, I'll tell you, when I was 14 and doing Kung Fu in Roanoke,
it doesn't get any better.
my Sifu, he had the Last Dragon theme song playing constantly. You
That's
are
awesome.
the Last Dragon. So I'm sitting there doing Kung Fu forms to that
Power
over
of
and
the
over.
globe.
Yes. So that's like burned into my memory.
Let me tell you, I
love that movie to
I
this
love
day.
that movie.
Man.
I love Show Enough. I love the tongue in cheek. I love the
Yeah.
Motown. Vanity was beautiful.
Who's the meanest?
But the message of him going on a quest in the Bronx, right? He's sitting there, and at the end, that fight scene at the end, I'm telling you, to this day, I was so hyped up, and to see him saying, "Well, they say a master who hasn't reached the final level, but his skills are so high, may be able to get his hands and feet to glow.
Yeah.
But somebody who has achieved, the enlightenment, his whole body would be beautiful." And he brings it and starts doing it. Dude, let me tell you, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's great.
It's
movie.
totally funny, but I remember thinking, too, it was almost the same message in that search for excellence. That's what he was about.
Yeah.
He was like,
Yeah.
no, I don't want to be good. I want to see if I can reach
The
perfection.
best.
Dude, that's a great
That to me, that was
a great
always
story.
Yeah, that was always the epitome of martial arts to me. Just that wise master who knew everything, who didn't need to even exert himself. He was just so immersed in the martial arts, he could hit a couple points on your body and just take you out.
And he could look old and feeble, and you would
Yeah.
never respect him as a threat. And he's like, I'm the guy you should be worried about.
I'll tell you what, one of the things my son likes.
Eddie Arcadia.
Ah!
Like that's just something I was like, I gotta say before I forget it.
One of the things my son likes to watch is the new Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I
And
love those.
The best character on there is Master Splinter because he's that guy. If all four of the turtles are getting
He's
their butts
chill.
kicked, here comes Master Splinter.
Yeah.
He'll slap them around a couple times and they're done. It's like nobody's ever defeated Master Splinter. Even in this new run where Batman is
Batman's
taking
got
one,
him.
Batman did not even touch Splinter. Splinter owned him.
Ah!
Batman let him.
No.
Trying to build the confidence of a rat.
No, Splinter was owning Batman so much. He was complimenting while he's fighting. He's like, it's really nice to see somebody still so dedicated to the martial arts. Good job, Batman.
No, dude. Connor saw it because I did get that issue.
Yeah.
Connor saw it laying there, and I cannot get him to read comic books.
Oh,
He
yeah?
just doesn't want. He doesn't like reading, and he has to do a ton for school, so he does read, but he
Reading is
doesn't enjoy
fundamental.
It is. That's half the battle.
Yes.
And he saw that. He saw that
Yo, Joe.
comic, and he was like, "You know what? I might read that. Batman's with the turtles." I was like, "Cool, right?"
Is it just the first one?
Yeah, just the first one.
You read the whole thing?
No, I haven't even read it yet.
Oh,
He
never mind.
I just
Oh,
got
man.
Man.
Get on it.
Yeah. No, I think 3 comes out next week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
it. Dude, I love it. I
You're
still got to
welcome.
read. I want to read the new Secret Wars too. I still want to read that one.
All
yeah.
7,000 books, or just the basic
Just the 9.
I was
the
just
9.
at the comic store and they had 3 through 9. I was like, I can't buy them without 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, you can't do that. Now, the Last Dragon was fantastic. Do you have another kind of off?
Well, what I was gonna say, we're about 53 minutes in. I was just like round robin a few people.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
make them kind of quick.
Yeah.
Some back and forth.
Yeah, Michael J. White, or is it Jai White? I always go Jay.
Jai-
I always
White.
say Jay.
Jay.
Okay. All right.
Spawn.
Yeah, Spawn,
Boneyard
Universal
Thug.
Soldier.
Yeah, the Universal Soldier.
I thought
yeah.
for me that my favorite, and he didn't even do really martial arts. Black Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of the funniest movies. I mean, it shows for me he's got range with it too.
Yeah.
Blood and Bone.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Is that the one with Kimbo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's not in it very long.
No, he's in it for a fight.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Gina Carano, she's in it.
Oh, dude.
I mean, I think that's a really good movie as well with him.
She's another one I respect. She doesn't have a lot on her repertoire yet, but somebody representing mixed martial arts in film, I'm excited for that.
I love it because
Wait,
she's
you're
in
not-
Deadpool.
Not Ronda Rousey? As we call her in acting, Ronda Lousy.
Lousy Rose.
Gosh,
Lousy
I
Rouse.
mean, she's horrible in The Expendables.
Dude.
Tony Jaa doesn't have a whole lot, but I like seeing the Muay Thai,
Yeah.
Ong Bak, and Protector.
Oh, that first Ong Bak. Oh, my goodness. That was
Loved that.
amazing.
Tony Jaa, because again, they had the things afterwards where you could watch his bloopers.
Yeah.
That was so cool because you knew, he's doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome stuff.
Gordon Liu. One of my favorite was an old Kung Fu Theater type movie, The Master Killer, The 36 Chambers.
This one I do not know. I do
All right,
not
let me
know
tell you,
this.
if you've never seen that,
Tang Clan, baby.
that's required viewing. If you have never seen Master Killer with Gordon Liu, he was the guy, he's the master in the Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Standing on the
Yeah.
sword. So that's where, I mean,
He's also the guy in the what were they called? The Crazy 88s? Or
yeah, the
whatever.
Crazy
Yeah.
88
He was
fist.
like the leader of them.
Yeah.
Incredible. It's an actual Shaolin Temple movie that the whole thing is about him training. And you have to go through the 36 chambers. Each chamber has a different challenge. Fantastic.
Awesome.
In fact, if Will hadn't reminded me of that tonight, I would have forgot it and I would have kicked myself forever. That's a winner.
Yeah, no kidding.
Now, I'm gonna go with one. I have a feeling no one's going to really like this character, but Cynthia Rothrock.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I mean, to me, she was
In the 80s,
I mean,
man.
she was the first female I saw in martial art movies.
Kicking butt and mom jeans.
What was some of the titles? You remember? Because she was
Man.
always straight to video
It seems
B
like to me,
flicks.
I remember the one movie, and I cannot think of her character's name to save my life.
Oh, dude.
But I remember she was like almost being like in a guillotine.
And kick
And
that
kick someone in the
scorpion.
head.
Yeah,
That
that
scorpion
yeah,
kick.
love that kick.
Dude.
Man.
I mean,
Love it.
and to me, like I say, she was like that first female martial artist that I really saw and go, hey, that's her. China O'Brien.
China
China
O'Brien,
O'Brien.
yeah. With Richard Norton, who does a lot of stuff with Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
She was also in a movie with what's his name? The guy that did the Taibo.
Billy
Oh,
Blank.
Billy Blank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was in some of his movies as well.
Dude, loved his movie Showdown,
Mm-hmm.
which was really good. I think it came out either right before or right after Taibo kind of took off. Let me tell you something. I saw Billy Blank's fight one time. It's a point fight, but he was pulling off movie stuff in competition, and I mean stuff that I've seen a lot of stuff. I mean,
I think I've seen that. He's pulled off like some axe kicks and stuff, right?
well, this is what the guy did. The guy went to kick high. He shot underneath the guy's leg and ended up standing behind him and back fisting him. It looked like a Master Splinter moment.
Oh, wow.
His explosiveness off that line was so fast. I was like, man, that's Bruce Lee quick.
Nice.
I was in Vegas, and the time I was in Vegas, Rambo was coming out, the newer one, the brand new one,
Yeah.
number 4.
Like John Rambo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the red carpet was right there at Hollywood, Planet Hollywood. And I'm like, I'm there. I'm like, dude, I'm going. So I go there and I see, and Sly comes up, and Stallone, and
Sly and Stallone.
and Arnold.
Like both of them came in.
Yeah, Sly and
Wow.
Stallone were both there.
I thought you meant Frank.
It was a special night.
It was
thought you
Cliff
meant-
and Hanger.
thought you meant
Frank.
Frank from World's Dumbest.
Stallone was there. Arnold was there, but Tito Ortiz came in.
Oh, dude.
Well, you saw like a head floating by. That was him.
I swear to you, that's exactly what I saw. He was so tall. He was head and shoulders, and you see this head, and I was just like, good Lord.
I remember
That's awesome.
Chuck Liddell, too.
You know,
Same
Jet
thing.
Li. We got to mention him too. But he, I remember him saying,
Hold on, like, Billy Blanks. I saw him walk by, and nobody was recognizing him. I go, "Hey, Billy," and he gives me like, "Hey, what's up, man?" That's my claim to fame with Billy
Nice.
Blanks.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Now we can go. What was the next
Because
one?
Jet Li, because I remember he was in what was the movie where he had the fighters in it? Was it Cradle to the Grave?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
And
all
he-
the UFC guys.
Yeah, because he was like, these guys are humongous. I am afraid of some of these guys.
Yeah.
He's like, these guys would really kill me.
What did
Yeah.
he say that in an
Yeah.
interview?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's cool.
Because you think these guys they would never say something like that. And he was like, no, these guys are the real deal.
Oh, and Jet Li is tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, tiny.
I was never a big fan of him because he's got a big chip on his shoulder, but he's got some great ones. Like, I'm not a big fan of his like Chinese epics, though, all the wire work and stuff. But like his American
Oh, that's-
movies,
I just kind of lose me.
Who,
on-
Jet Li?
on
Yeah.
those other-
He's
I
got
like
a
his-
chip on his shoulder for real. Like in real life?
He always acts like in his movies, like he's the ultimate tough guy. He's
I
just
gotcha.
walking around.
Which is
walking
funny
tall
because
stuff.
he's like
Napoleon?
Yeah.
little people of
Napoleon,
LA.
yeah,
He's
right.
got the Napoleon complex.
But Kiss of the Dragon,
I'm glad
that's
I
one of my
remember that.
favorite. You guys know that one?
Oh yeah, with the little move at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the needles in this thing.
Dude, I'm gonna be up on Netflix until tomorrow morning now.
That's
Gosh,
one
I'm
that's
gonna
one
go
of those
look at all
movies I
these.
always watch every time it comes on because what
Crash to
what
the
better
Grave, DMX.
Ah,
what
damn.
better way do you take out the big bad guy at the end of the movie than that Kiss of the Dragon move? I was like, oh my gosh,
That was cool, right?
That was awesome.
yeah.
Hey, I tell you a movie that it did not have, the incredible choreography that we're talking about here, but it made as big an impact on me in my real world, martial arts. The Karate Kid.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Daniel-san.
Miyagi more
Miyagi.
than Daniel.
He couldn't even catch a fly with chopsticks. Come on.
Come on. Give the man a break. But Miyagi kind of defined, if you wanted a great example of how to
Yeah.
see a teacher, I looked at that and I was like, man, if I could achieve a semblance of that, dude, I'd feel good
Yeah.
about maybe being able to help somebody. Because he did that at the very end when they're getting ready to face off. You can see it. The guys in the Cobra Kai are saying, your teacher's training is crap, man. And it's on the line. It's like, if it's crap, it's going to fold right here.
Yeah.
And you look at Miyagi, and for the first time, he's like, okay, dude, you got to pull it off, And Daniel's focus on that when he kicked him in the face and you saw him beam. I was like, that's a moment.
The other thing I didn't like about that move was like he had his hurt foot or whatever, and he does his little crane kick, and he lands on the hurt foot. Like I thought he was supposed to like jump off the right foot, kick, and land back on the right foot.
No, I always thought it was a bicycle kick, which is just like, bam. But I thought that too.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. Because I remember being a kid and some other kid was trying to show me, no, man, the foot that's on the ground, you're supposed to jump up and kick him with. I was like, not in this lifetime, bro.
Right.
Unless you grew up in an opera house, that ain't happening.
Oh, I used to train that all the time. I go out in the front yard and do that stuff.
You take one that foot there,
Jump up, kick, and land back on it. Yeah.
opera house.
Boom.
Okay, I can jump up, kick, and I'm laying on the other leg. It's
Josh
happening.
Chan.
I could do some impressive stuff back in my day.
I do remember you
Yeah, it's
coming
better.
in
Better
like
neck surgery.
to Ram and you doing butterfly and barrel rolls,
Yeah,
butterfly kicks and
yeah.
stuff, and being impressed that you could move.
Yeah, I could do that like out in the
I'm
front
saying
yard
this,
without
he is
pads and
still-
stuff.
Josh, you're still about the lightest person on your feet that I see.
Yeah,
It's almost like you're just like floating around.
For
out
a
there.
solid 10 seconds, I'm good.
Yeah, me, I'm like I got the concrete going. I can't really move.
Hey, I have it in my blood, so I have an excuse.
I'd say
Concrete's in my
another
blood.
big one for me that like helped kind of mold me besides Rumble in the Bronx was, you guys probably laugh at me, but Mortal Kombat.
No,
Did not enjoy it.
Really?
oh, come on.
No.
See, I was
Really?
huge into the game, so when they
I've
made
got a
movie-
joke about it if you want to hear it, though, man. Oh, dude.
Comedizzle, go.
It's not about the movie, so
Yeah.
All right, I'm in the theater. I'm watching it, and then after this is horrible. Afterwards, I go when the movie's over. Everybody's going out. Say, hold on, I got to use the restroom. There's nobody in there except me, and then this guy walks in, almost running. I mean, like, keeping his knees together
Oh,
and
no.
trying to move like, okay. And he gets in there and he sits down and locks the door and he goes, and I hear him go,
finish you.
Mortal Kombat. And I did everything I could to not laugh because I'm the only one in there. I don't want to have a dialogue with this guy at this moment. And I just die. I'm like, you did not just do that.
Flawless victory.
And he's in there giggling to himself, knowing that I'm in there going, pretty funny, right?
He's like fatality.
I walked out of there just dying.
Oh my goodness.
So, that's always tied that movie
Terrible.
to me.
Terrible.
That is terrible.
I love that movie growing up. That's another one that I just put in the VCR and just watched over and over and over again. Like, that's another one, like, I memorized all the choreography. The fight at the end with Liu Kang and Reptile. Reptile was so fast. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to learn every punch he throws.
Did
in
you
this
like
thing.
Street Fighter?
No, did not like that one. But I'll tell you
Double
another,
Dragon.
another thing about Mortal Kombat is I taught myself how to kip from Liu Kang doing it in that movie. He was
No
on the beach.
kidding.
Like most people that I've always ever seen do it, they put their hands above their shoulders and push off with their hands to do it. But Liu in the movie,
Just use his legs.
he rolls back almost on his neck and he pushes with the neck and flips his legs over. And that's how I learned to do it. I never did it with my hands.
Oh, really? And I learned to do it with my
See,
hands.
I've seen people do it both ways. I was like, I still can't do it. All I do is kind of like get a little air and body slam myself.
Oh, no.
Repeatedly.
All right, that's actually, let's take a little side thing. Other moves that you learned specific like that, like the kip. Do you have anything else that you're like, okay, I saw it there and I gave it a shot?
From the movies?
Yeah, from the movies. Or that you wanted to, because you were like, that's a legit. All right, here's mine.
One that I could never do that I wanted to be able to do was, you know what an aerial is?
Oh, yeah. I can't do that. I never could.
Do that, but they did a quarter turn in the air. They would like jump and spin and land facing the opposite direction. I could never pull that off as much as I tried.
Dude, that's tight stuff right there. But the one that I saw was Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon, first fight scene, you know, with Sammo, where they're wearing the MMA stuff we were talking about. Remember that guy, he kicks at him, and he does this back handspring.
Lands and then pops back on his feet.
And then pops back in.
I was always afraid to even try that.
Me too. Because he doesn't land kind of balled up. He actually landed and folded from the waist, like in half.
Like a spring and pow. Yeah.
That move, I remember thinking,
I loved seeing that, but I was too afraid to try it.
And speaking of which, the guy he fought, that was Sammo Hung. You know, Jackie Chan considered him his big brother.
Yeah, he's a legend too.
And then Yun Bu would be his little brother.
Two other ones that I love. I'm not a big Donnie Yen fan. I'm not a big Donnie Yen fan, but the Ip Man movies are
I was hoping somebody would mention that.
They are fantastic movies. The first one especially.
Well, they're up to like 4 or 5 now, but the ones with Donnie are amazing.
He's done 2 and 3 is getting ready to come out.
Yeah.
You know what he's done? A lot of MMA Hong Kong style, meaning, you know, the Hong Kong Kung Fu crazy choreography.
Yeah.
But he's bringing in that legitimate, like triangles, arm bars, Thai kicks, you know, like jiu-jitsu. And when I saw a couple of those things, I was like, oh, dude, that could be something I'd really like to see.
Yeah.
You know, so Donnie Yen, I think he's actually got Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Sword of Destiny is getting ready to be premiered on Netflix.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that, and I never watched
I think
the
he's
first
in
one.
it. Oh, I did, but it wasn't my cup of tea.
Nah, none of that stuff impressed me, but the Ip Man movies I love.
Yeah, those things are phenomenal.
That scene when he takes on like.
I mean, what I love about it is you can watch it and you can just learn from it as well.
He moves with such precision and strength. I mean, it's cool. I like that.
Yeah, when he's taking on like everybody else is like, give me 2 because the more you fight and win, the more like food you got or whatever. And he got ticked because they killed his friend. He's like 10, give me 10. They're like, really?
Yeah,
and he beats them all down. I was like, oh,
I love that. And the story of Ip Man, I mean, that's Bruce Lee's teacher.
Yeah.
That's a great angle that they kind of created a niche with. I was like, man, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
And Bruce is coming into the third one, like young Bruce.
Is he
when
really?
They first meet, yeah.
Oh, dude, now you got me interested again. Because the first one I really dug, but I didn't think I would probably stay with it and watch the second one or the third. I thought, okay, they're going to milk it. I mean, Kickboxer, I mean, there's like 7 of them.
Yeah.
Remember Sasha, what's his face in the second?
Mitch, dude, did you like that one?
I thought he was pretty good, actually. Because I remember him from... it wasn't Growing Pains. What was that show he was on?
Oh, dude, I know what you're talking about. I cannot think.
He's got that little family together, like the split family, kind of like the Brady Bunch type thing.
Yeah, the guy from Dallas was the dad. Patrick Dowdy or
Patrick
something?
Duffy.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Patrick Dowdy was like a gym teacher at my old high school.
Did you guys ever watch a movie with Benicio del Toro and Tommy Lee Jones, The Hunted?
Yeah.
It was almost like Rambo with knives. Like the guy he was like a SEAL or something, but he was really good with knives, and their knife choreography was awesome.
Incredible. That they did the Sayok Kali, which was specialty was the knife, and I remember that thing coming out. The fact that they even played it straight and decided to take and get some depth to it. I thought that was fantastic.
I really enjoyed that.
Because that's the only way some of these things will ever get any kind of like an opportunity for the masses to see them is Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because if you get on the internet, you're like, it's all on the internet. Yeah, but the internet, you'll get lost in a blizzard of information.
Yeah, no kidding.
You're not going to find it, unless it's good. Speaking of which, how about the present day newer stuff that I love? John Wick.
Yes,
Oh,
love that.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of hand-to-hand stuff, but like the gun choreography and stuff.
Yeah.
Was awesome.
You didn't think so? Now, the hand-to-hand that I saw that I loved, the choreographer on that was Chad Stahelski. And he was the guy that kind of filled in for Brandon after he died as a stand-in person. He grew up with all of them. So he was at the Inosanto Academy of Martial Arts and all. And you talk about choreography, they're the same guys I think that worked with Matt Damon for Jason Bourne.
Oh, those are great movies too.
Dude,
Yeah.
remember that first thing when he's being, in that place trying to get his papers and they touch him? Mm-hmm. And he takes 5 guys and ties them into a knot. I was like, that was about as cool as anything.
The only thing I didn't like about those movies is a lot of times they'd have the shaky cam.
Oh,
Two was real
I
bad about
hate
that.
shaky cam.
I think it's Paul Greengrass or something like that, Greenhill, something like
Well, just stop with the shaky cam.
I hate it.
That's just a band-aid for bad choreography, I think.
Yeah.
I do too. In fact, if you're cutting a film and you're real close to it, so that all we see is look like we're in the fight, the idea sounds cool. Man, you're going to be in the fight. But no. I want to be third person. I want to see what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Other words, you're like, dude, no, forget it.
I got when you were just talking about some stuff, I just thought about Wesley Snipes, and I thought, I don't know if you always consider him as martial artist.
Oh, without a doubt, he's a
but,
legit martial artist.
Yeah, I mean, not so much in movies. You don't see it a lot.
Yeah, Blade.
Yeah, Blade. That's the first thing that comes to my mind too. And I loved him in what was the movie Tommy Lee Jones? The Fugitive. It's like The Fugitive 2, basically.
Was it?
It wasn't actually called The Fugitive 2, but it's basically
U.S. Marshals.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I thought that was really, really good.
Wesley Snipes, actually, he put together a whole thing with a bunch of African American martial artists, like a night of demonstrations with a bunch of them, and he's I think if I'm right, he's like 7th degree in some sort of real traditional Japanese martial art. I can't remember what it was. But they had all these demonstrations from all these, like Moses Powell and some of these other guys that were just, it's good stuff.
I had to look it up. I couldn't remember the name, but The Art of War. That was awesome that he put
Who was in that?
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Who else was in that? I remember the name. I don't remember the movie.
I don't remember a whole lot about it. I just remember his martial arts was pretty impressive.
That was more like a CIA kind of gun film,
yeah,
right?
on the run
Not
kind
a-
of film. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Dude, that was good. Wesley Snipes was. In fact, I wish he would have had a better break. I knew he got into a lot of personal problems with his finances
and
and
some
stuff.
of the government stuff. But and I guess we're getting close to the end. But there's one that you guys will almost legitimately laugh at me. But I'm going Yoda.
Yoda.
Dude, yeah,
Dude, him with the lightsaber. Come on, he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yoda is Miyagi in outer space.
and Darth Maul.
Oh,
And
dude,
that's
that was
two
good.
guys. That's two guys. You got. You know what? We got a little tip of the cap to those guys.
Dude, love those. And I call that's
Maul.
straight up martial arts. The best thing about Bruce Lee and these guys, if it hadn't have been for them, we wouldn't have had the experience. We would have had 1970s, lightsaber battles,
Right.
not the 1990s and 2000s.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hey, speaking of little shout outs, what about some of the old stuff too? Back in the day, The Seven Samurai, classic film. If you've never seen that, it is a subtitled film, but it's great.
There's a kind of recent one along that vein called 13 Assassins.
Yes.
I love that one too. That's that real.
That's a good one, and the Blind Swordsman stuff.
Yeah, and
Is it
Blind
Zaitochi?
Fury.
I can't remember.
Zaitochi, yeah.
Zaitochi.
Yeah, and the Blind Fury. It was like.
Rutger Hauer.
Yeah, you remember that?
Love that
Like
movie.
cut the fly in half with the sword.
Have you ever
That was-
seen
that
that?
was
I have
awesome.
not seen it. But
You've got to see
It's
that.
almost
Rutger
like
Hauer is a great actor.
Oh, dude,
It was almost
The
like-
Hitcher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him with what was that movie with Ice Cube? No, Ice T. The Game.
Oh, dude, yes,
That was
yes.
a great
Where they were
movie.
hunting him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
kind
he-
of
he
like
was
rich
kinda
guys hunting.
Yeah, it's kind of like a
convict.
homeless
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
This one has found him. And,
Yeah.
and he took him.
Oh,
but
dude, that was
no,
good.
no spoiler. He may not have.
He may not. He may have made it.
In theory.
Rutger Hauer. First thing I ever saw him in was The Hitcher, and that movie freaked me out because he just wouldn't let it go.
Yeah.
Oh, another one. Philip Ree with The Best of the Best.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
Best
of the Best.
Roberts
That's
movies,
right,
yeah.
You know what was great about that? Because they made it seem like, look, we know that we've got like maybe a B-level film, but we're going to create this little world where you know us, and we're going to keep the story going.
Yeah.
The first one was good. I loved the second one even. After that, then it became really.
I'm trying to think, how many is that? About 4 of them? 5 of them?
They might have even done like 6 and 7, but a lot of times they'll just call that franchise. It'll be a Philip Ree movie, and he'll tag it with Best of the Best, Indomitable Spirit.
Yeah.
Like it's another chapter in the storyline. But loved the first one. Eric Roberts, I didn't know he was so into martial arts.
Yeah,
as he
I didn't
is,
know that
but-
either. Then you see that, it's like, wow. Hey, Julia's brother.
Dude, you got Wayne Newton in one of them. Come on, man. Wayne Newton in a martial art flick. Sign me up.
Did you guys watch that movie Ninja Assassin?
I did. I thought
did.
that was great.
I really liked it. I like that whole like ninja world, like training to be.
I do
like,
too.
Like you said, just being that elite level and stuff.
And they were really violent with like the
Yeah.
death.
Yeah.
He cut that dude's face off,
Yeah.
and you saw it slip off, and then they said, "Look at the gore, look at the blood." I was like, "We don't do that in martial art movies.
Yeah.
It's quick, and he falls down."
Yeah.
If you want to talk about a great scene, and I know Troy did not like the movie, Equilibrium, when they had the
It's
gun,
alright.
they had gun fu.
Yes.
Oh, that
can't
was
believe
a
you didn't love that,
phenomenal
man.
scene.
That
If you're going to speak
choreography was
about
awesome.
that, we cannot not mention The Matrix.
The Matrix. Yeah.
yeah,
The first one.
dude.
The first one.
But you know what? I look at those other movies. They're not good movies.
No.
They're too confusing and they're too long. And no,
And we got to see Trinity jump repeatedly.
yeah, and freeze and pan the camera
Yes.
around.
Terrible CGI.
But there was some scenes in there
of
that
course,
made
yes.
worth, like, all right, I'll watch it for that.
And the ending. That's one of the movies. The ending of the third one. It legitimately made me mad when I left the theater.
Oh, dude, the second one made me mad.
Yeah.
Well, they had, everything was talking about how special effects were so good in these Matrix movies, they're groundbreaking. And then he fights a million variations
Yeah,
of
it turns
himself in the playground, and it
Yeah.
looks
Oh.
like it turned into a Looney Tune
Yeah,
cartoon.
It was a
I always-
PlayStation game.
I always call it like Super Mario Brothers just broke out.
And it didn't even look as good as the video games.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what it is? You guys had too much on your plate,
Mm-hmm.
and something had to slip, and this is
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah. That was rough.
But that first thing when they're in the dojo,
Yeah.
stop trying to hit me and hit me, dude.
Oh, them dodging the bullets.
How would
Yeah.
you like
Phenomenal.
to take and download and sit up and say, I know jujitsu?
All right. So I need to learn how to fly this helicopter real quick, and we're good.
Oh, dude.
Hey, Chuck.
Yeah.
There it is. He can just flash on it and it is done.
Give me the intersect.
It's so funny because there was a lot of movies back in the 80s and even the 70s that were not considered martial art movies by the standard of it's all about martial arts. But martial arts played a huge role in them because everybody was trying to get into, add that element to sell. Patrick Swayze, Roadhouse.
Yeah. Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Family Guy. Roadhouse.
Dude, Connor heard that and he laughed. He said, "That's the funniest thing I've ever heard." He goes, "Let's go Roadhouse some people did."
Roadhouse.
Oh.
It's absolutely hilarious.
Another one almost forgot. You mentioned Ninja Assassin. What about all of the ninja movies of the 80s with Sho Kosugi? Revenge of the Ninja.
Yes.
Enter the Ninja. Ninja 3, The Domination. The Master. Remember the TV show The Master? In the 80s, during that time, it was Sho Kosugi. He was the guy doing all of it. Dude, I love that show, The Master. I remember Friday nights that would come on. And Saturday, I'd go play basketball for like a rec league or something. And all of the, the other uber nerds who were in this league would come up. Did you see The Master last night? Oh, he threw the ninja stars.
Oh, awesome.
We used to keep ninja stars in our wallets.
I remember we had Ninja Stars and we couldn't hit anything with them.
I had a couple.
We had
in,
nunchucks. We would about swing them at sticks and stuff.
My-
We about knock our own heads off trying
Yeah.
to stuff.
my wall at home at my parents' house might have a couple holes in it because of ninja stars.
Maybe not. Maybe.
Hey,
Batman. I have some bat stars I can throw at you.
Oh, dude.
Those things are sharp, grid day sharp.
Oh, wow.
I got them at a convention.
really?
Yeah, these things they look great too. They look
Nice.
real.
Dude, I'm telling you, I got a whole bunch. Me and Connor, we've got like a log cut, like the face of it. And we'll go out there and throw stars and knives and
That's
stuff like
awesome.
that. I was like, no, come on, man, we're throwing them. He didn't like it at first because he couldn't get them to stick. But now, like hatchets and stuff.
You remember the redneck from West Virginia on YouTube?
Oh yeah, Judy Chop.
We go Judy Chopper.
Oh, yeah.
And he just when you talking about the throwing stars, just reminded me. We got a cat of Kodiak. we go throw that.
There's your ninja star.
There's your ninja star.
Dude, let me tell you, in
I
third
laugh so hard.
in junior high and third period, everybody like 10 minutes in would all say, go to the restroom up in A wing and we'll go up there and we'll meet. And we'd go up there and meet, and you think, man, what do you guys do? Go up there and smoke in the boys' room? No. Pull out our ninja stars. And dude, that wall, oh my gosh, man. I mean, imagine a sheetrock wall after a year of these little punks coming in here and throwing the ninja stars. It looked like somebody had just taken a knife and every day 13
Right,
more
right.
holes in it.
It's funny. Like back in our day, we could take throwing stars to
I
school.
know you'd be arrested then.
Oh, you'd be arrested.
Yeah,
No.
It's hilarious.
I got something better. Remember I told you that guy Jason Shannon where I took and started watching Bruce Lee movies?
the dog food.
That's RC. Don't eat the dog food.
It's only a kibble.
It's a kibble. It was a bet. But he he ate gum off the sidewalk, Dad. It's that guy with the Danish girl.
It all comes together.
It all comes together.
As they're jumping the shark. Yeah. But we're at the lunch table, and Jason comes up, and I don't know how he got it, but he had an order form for a company called Asian World of Martial Arts.
Nice.
And all it is like a weapons catalog.
Yeah,
with
stabs and size and stuff. Yeah.
Ninja weapons. I mean, literal swords, stars, tonfa, nunchuck,
Yeah.
chains, ninja outfits, blow darts, everything. And everybody, I mean, that's what we did at lunch. We'd look at it going, oh, wow, look at that. And he goes, look, I talked to my mom. I'm going to place an order. If you guys bring your money in, I'll take and make an order for you guys. Everybody in the lunchroom is circling like Star Wars at Christmas in the best catalog.
Yeah.
I want a ninja star. I want the moon star. I want 3 nunchuck, a blow dart, and the other guy says, I want ninja tabby.
Need a whip chain.
I want chains. I want those things you climb the telephone poles with. So this guy, everybody brings in their money. And that's all we can. I can't wait till my toys come. Can't wait till. This dude comes into lunch one day with a box as big as, like a 24-inch TV in that thing and starts passing weapons out.
That's awesome.
Because I just had a bit, this story was going, he took all y'all's money.
Yeah.
Anybody who wants to buy weapons, you don't want to take their money. They'll come find you. I will tell you this, though, what they did.
Hilarious.
Those guys.
Yeah, try that nowadays.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hey, this guy one time, he was always had an angle to make money. So what he did is we had our school fall festival bazaar, and what they did is they said, all right, what we're going to do is take these posters of Mr. T and a gorilla, and we're going to cut their head out, and the kids will take and stick their heads in there, and we'll take a picture of it, and then they pay $1, we give them a picture. Well, the whole thing is he's about like 2 hours in, and I was like, man, you guys making some money? He goes, man, we're making a ton of money. We've already made like $50. I was like, no way, that's awesome. He goes, yeah, but don't tell anybody. Ain't no filming this camera. I looked at him, I was like, they gonna want their pictures, dude.
Yeah.
He goes, dude, it's $1 each, man. Ain't nobody gonna find me after this.
That's hilarious.
Halfway through the
Oh,
night,
my
he
goodness.
goes up and raids his little sister's like toy box, brings in all these stuffed animals, and starts setting up this game where you can win prizes for another $1. All of his kid sister's toys are gone. They
Awesome.
gave them all, hey, the toy for you. I was like, your mom, you will be sleeping outside, man.
That is awesome.
I remember going up, my grandparents used to take me to Happy's flea market all the time in Roanoke.
Happy's flea
And
market.
this dude, he
I
had
miss
his
Happy's.
this just a little thing. You almost had to walk sideways through it. It was so slim, but he had his little store on the inside, and it had all those ninja weapons. It had the full ninja suit. He had the stars. He had tasers. He had the whip chains, the bow staffs, everything. I was like, I'm coming back for that bow staff. I'm coming back for those scythes, those hook swords.
Dude, let me tell you, a couple years
I remember
ago,
that place. I remember that.
I went there
Yeah.
to that store because I had told my son, like as a 4-year-old, that I was Wolverine, and I could not find where I was like going to the flea market
Wait,
trying to
you're not?
find. Well, don't tell nobody.
Okay.
Secret identity.
Yeah.
But I was looking
What
for
do they
the
do? Shoot you and the bullets coming out?
Yeah, man, come on, what are they gonna do?
Old man Logan.
Dude, old man Logan, I'll kick you.
That just happened, ladies and gentlemen.
And I went to go buy the claws there. And I did, man. I was like, Happy's will have it because this one here didn't have it. So I went up to Happy's before they closed and bought it. Then we went and watched an X-Men movie, me and Connor, like Wolverine Origins or something. He's still a kid. I mean, he's like 6 years old or something like that. And I'm driving down the road, and I hid the claws behind the seat.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and because I had told him, I said, he goes, when do I get to see these? It's like, you got to be 6 years old. And he was like, oh man. And he was giving me enough credence, like, you're really gonna show them to? I'll really pop them and show them to you. And he's like, no way. And so while we're driving down the road, it's like midnight. We just finished this. I reach behind there and I grab them. And I say, I told you I'd show you my claws. He goes, you really going to show them to me right now? He got all pumped up. And all of a sudden, ching! And I pull him out and turn the lights on, and I did not get the reaction I thought I would.
Did he scream at you?
He looked at me. We're going down the road like 65, 70 miles an hour. He looked at me and started backing up to the door. And I swear I thought he was going to jump out. And he was like, I was like, Connor, I'm just kidding. He goes, you're a freak. You're a freak. Like he thought I had claws.
You're a mutant.
Yeah. He was like, I was like, see, that's the whole message of these stories. Don't judge.
Exactly.
Don't judge.
See, you could have followed that up with, and you're going to get them too.
Dude, I swear, I thought he was going to jump out of the moving vehicle. I had to come clean and go, look, it's a toy, you know. And he did not. That rest of the night, we went home. He got in bed with Mom, and he wasn't coming in. Dad's sleeping on the couch. I was like,
not cool, Dad, not cool.
I thought he would be like this. I was like, you are the coolest dad. No. You freak, take me home.
It's so awesome.
That's one of the things we laugh about that regularly.
My son's convinced when you see the little jets with the jet streams in the sky. I always tell him, there goes Iron Man again. He's like, oh, Iron Man.
Oh, no, dude, I wish I would have thought of that.
It's really Superman, but whatever.
Superman doesn't leave a chemtrail.
No.
Wonder Woman, invisible plane.
Invisible chemtrail.
No, you can totally see it.
No.
Lame.
Close your eyes, look, there it is.
I do see it.
Lame.
He's so right.
Totally lame.
All right,
How
now,
did she find that anyway? But that's for another day.
Dude, that's for another day.
She keeps running into it. Oh, there it is.
Any other kung fu, karate, martial art movies?
I covered all the ones I wanted to.
Oh! Go ahead.
Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Almost forgot the man outside of that.
The Chuck,
What's
the
your favorite
legend.
Chuck?
Dude, I mean,
Come on, hands
Walker?
down.
Walker, Texas Ranger?
Lone Wolf McQuade,
Yeah.
the one it's based on.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, my favorite. I loved his Missing in Action, but Lone Wolf McQuade.
I love the first Missing in Action.
Oh, yeah, that was good. The second one, isn't that one where he went back?
Yeah. What was it called? MIA? Wasn't that the second one?
Oh, the second one, they actually made it. It was a prequel. They actually showed him in the camp. I
Yeah.
actually think I like that one better. What about the Octagon? Did you ever see the Octagon with Chuck
not seen
Norris?
that one.
You've got to. That was fantastic.
He punched someone with his chin.
That's right.
Oh, dude, all the time. Chuck Norris got shot the other night. 2 bullets died, and 3 of them are in critical condition.
Oh, no.
We will mourn those bullets.
Yes.
Ba-dum-bum.
I love all that stuff. There's legends of Chuck Norris.
You've got to
It's
be
so
cool
funny.
if they have a joke series
Yeah.
based on you.
I would say this. I remember seeing, I used to watch Walker, Texas Ranger. There was one. This woman was stealing a car. It was a convertible. He comes flying in a helicopter, jumps in the back seat, smacks the woman, and takes
Walker?
control. Yeah, and takes control of the car. I'm like, did that really just happen? He just slapped this woman.
Dude, let me tell you something. The best thing about Walker was that it was
I was like, don't.
a moral show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was something that if you wanted to watch it with your kids, and you gotta give him credit for that, because he could have played it like that, dude. I'm gonna be gritty and dark,
Yeah.
and no.
See, I didn't expect that from Walker because I remember John Wayne. She slaps him. Guess what? She's getting slapped right back.
Oh yeah,
In those
John
movies way
Wayne.
back in the day.
Yeah.
It's like,
Love that.
But you don't think Chuck Norris is just going to slap somebody. Lady, you don't know. You don't see that coming.
dude, it would kill me to see that. I'd be like, what?
YouTube it.
What about what was remember that movie Sidekicks he did?
Yes,
with that
yes.
kid. Good movie. Yeah, that kid died.
You know, Ernie Reyes.
Yeah.
The Last Electric Night.
Yeah.
Ponter Ohm. He was also in the Last Dragon.
That's right, yeah.
Did you ever
His-
see
his
the
little brother?
The Last Electric Night? You ever see that?
No. Is it like Boogie Nights?
Did you remember the TV show? No, it's not. Did you ever see that TV show Sidekicks with Gil Gerard, Buck
Yeah.
Rogers?
Mm-hmm.
That was the pilot.
Okay.
The Last Electric Night. Where he's growing up. Oh, fantastic. Surf Ninjas.
Yeah.
And what about?
He was in the Turtles as well.
Oh, he was one of the
Yeah, he
turtles
was.
before he was in. Like as himself.
Oh,
And now you know.
I did not know
Now
that.
you know. What about some of the movies that did come out? When I don't know, they became more accessible in the last couple of years, like Shaolin Soccer.
Mm-hmm.
You heard of that one?
Yeah, I've heard of that. I never watched it, though.
Really
remember
funny
hearing-
movie. Stephen Chow. Kung Fu Hustle. You ever see
Yeah,
that?
yeah, that was
Yeah.
funny. That was great.
Love that movie. Well,
I loved it at the time. I don't know would it hold up if I watched it now. You're probably like, man, this is corny.
Well, the whole thing about it was because I got hustled.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. I was like, that was good.
Yeah.
You know, but I didn't understand the whole thing with the guys with axes doing like a Broadway number in the middle of the scene. That wasn't me. Shaolin Soccer was good though.
That's the one where he like fought the cow out in the.
Dude, it's been a good night so far. I think we're all
Yeah.
ready to tie it up. We just looked at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, well, Josh was supposed to leave here like 45 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I was like, well, at just a little before an hour, I was like, let's just wrap it up real quick with a few names, and a half an hour later.
Oh,
dude.
there's so many good ones to cover though.
I mean, 'cause I know we've missed some.
Yeah.
And don't you hate it because you know you're gonna
Yeah.
drive down the road tonight and be like, ah!
It happens
like,
every
I
week.
mentioned
I'm like,
Yoda.
I wanted to say that. Crap.
I mentioned Yoda.
I mentioned Karate Kid, Last Dragon, and Lone Wolf McQuade. Those
There
are the
you go.
ones I didn't want to forget.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
Hey, do we have a topic for next week?
I do not have a topic yet. We got anything?
I don't
'Cause I know Deadpool
sure.
comes out next week, but we kind of hit that last week.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Let's put it in the comment section.
Yeah.
If you have something, other words,
You say silk underwires? Is that what you
underwires,
just said?
Underwires.
black silk underwires.
You and all people should know that's whatever.
Dude, that's my Van Damage homage.
There you go.
All right. Till next week, my friend.
We'll find something good for next week.
I will find
All
something.
right. We will be back.
And that's it.
Same bad time.
I'm waiting for JP right there.
Imagine.
And have an incredible day.
See ya.